name's Dave Meller. I'm the General Manager of Operations with the County of Brant. And really what I want to talk to you, everyone here today, is what have we planned up to this moment? What's occurring this year? There is some construction ongoing in the community, as well as what's happening in the future. I'll try to describe these slides the best I can. I just want to go to the next one there. Okay, I'm trying to remember my there. Okay, so planning for development. You know, I worked in development and the municipal industry for about 15 years, and I've heard it all from everybody. Everybody says the traffic, stormwater, water, wastewater, protection of our wellheads. What about our parks? How do our parks work into it? Emergency services, fire. And even protection of the natural environment. You know, St. George is a beautiful place, and there is a lot of great trails and accesses that you have afforded to yourself here. So to support that, the county completed basically it's called an environmental assessment, and really what that does is it assesses everything outside of just the environment. So it'll look at a problem such as, you know, what's the best way to increase the wastewater capacity in St. George? How do we ensure that water is protected? Where does traffic infrastructure need to be improved to support the development? And it looks at all the different options and routes based on what these folks have planned. And the results of that, if you just want to go to the next slide. So the results of that is there's a number of projects, and the main one that Councillor McAlpine alluded to, which I'll talk a little bit about more, is the St. George wastewater treatment plant. And what the county did is, because there is such limited capacity at that plant today, there's something called an interim control bylaw, meaning they couldn't proceed with their development until this plant is constructed and the timing works out so that people aren't in those new homes until that infrastructure is there. And really, I know they might not think it's an advantage, but for us at the county, it's a huge advantage because we were able to work together with all of these developers and really coordinate all of their infrastructure and really plan out what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and what those triggers are. So some of the projects, I'm not going to list them all, there's intersection improvements throughout the community, notably at 24, German School Road and 24, Highway 5 and 24. We're forecasting those, as well as some within the local community as well, and some general transportation upgrades. Active transportation routes was another outcome of those studies. So, you know, when you have homes developed, you want people to be able to walk and connect through the communities. So all of that was assessed and planned before they even put a bucket in the ground. And lastly, the wastewater and water treatment capacity enhancements. So if you go to the next slide, I think that's the one. So occurring this year, there is the new wastewater treatment plant project on Victor Boulevard. And that project takes the capacity of that wastewater treatment plant from 800 to 3,800 cubic meters a day. So it's a pretty substantial upgrade. It's not an expansion per se of the area. It's all contained within the same footprint of that facility. The reason that you're able to get so much more capacity is the technology has improved substantially from when that facility was first constructed. The completion timeline for that is March of 2028 today. The construction budget, and I want to talk a little bit about this, is $50 million, which sounds like a lot of money. We were able to secure $35 million from the province, and then there's a large portion of the remainder of that project is paid through something called development charges. And that's true for all of these projects that I'm mentioning. So whenever developers build a home, they're charged a development charge, and that goes directly to fund these expansion projects. So this I want to talk about a little bit. This is the construction occurring on St. George Road. So that's to support the Stony Ridge subdivision, phase 3. So this project, there'll be notices going out, and it's going to start on May 3rd. And the notice will say, I want everyone to pay attention for a second, the notice will say it'll end on substantially complete in August. And the schedule we received from the contractor is it would be mid to late June, they'll be paving. And I want everyone to put that in the back of their head, because it's the next project is if you want to go to the next slide, is the trunk sewer main. So anybody, obviously everyone knows St. George, we're not going to do work on both of those roads in and out of the community at the same time. So we've scheduled them so that this work starts in July when traffic is open on that last project on St. George Road. And really this project here is to support the development and the servicing and get the flows from the new development areas into the wastewater treatment plant. So it's the green line here, and it extends along Beverly and High Street. And then there's a short section here on in the Victor Boulevard neighborhood. And that's anticipated to be completed in 2027. So in 2025 of this year, the county purchased land at the corner of Howell Road and the other intersecting road I can't read. But it's a 10-acre parcel, and the purpose of that parcel was for a water treatment plant expansion. That's currently in planning right now. We're going to proceed to design in the next couple of years. And the reason for this project is as a community grows, everyone knows, there used to be the tap at the fire hall that constantly ran. St. George has a very high-performing aquifer, and it's not capacity that's driving the need for another source, it's redundancy. So as a community grows, things like fire protection, the availability of water, water's a critical resource for any community. So as the community grows, you add more sources to add redundancy to the community. That project is a lot less complex than a wastewater treatment plant project. It's estimated at $10 million, and again, it adds redundancy for the community. And the next slide there. So plan for the future. The Victor Boulevard area, there's historical stormwater issues there. If people live in that area, they'll know what I'm talking about. So we have done a study of the area to see, okay, what do we need to do? Do we need to increase the pipes? Do we need to add a pond? How do we fix this? And so that work is going to be proceeding in 2028, and it's going to coincide with the trunk sewer main extension through that neighborhood. So we're going to be replacing all the asphalt in that area, water, wastewater, stormwater, and really addressing the existing issues in the community. Because I want to put that in there, and that we do plan rehabilitations of the existing community, and it's not all trying to support development. We are progressing with works to support the existing community. Again, the intersection and roadway improvements, we're updating our transportation master plan in 2027. We're anticipating that Highway 5 and 24 between 2029 and 2031 will require upgrades, and then again, German School Road and Highway 24 as well as some other upgrades. And you might be thinking, well, they're going to be building next week, or not next week, this summer, next summer. I don't know when you guys are actually starting. You should talk about that. So it takes a while for the community to build out. And what we don't want to do is have St. George be a construction zone throughout the community until it's needed. So we really revise and relook at all the plans and the capital plans we have for the community and try to implement those projects when they're required. Because we really don't want everybody to have to drive through 3 or 4 construction sites every day on their way to work, or if they're going anywhere really. And another project we have listed is sidewalk improvements and pedestrian connectivity in the College Street area. So we've been in discussions with the school board about adding sidewalks to College Street, as well as some connectivity through the park. I believe our park staff there, they plow a road currently through the rec center. So we are going to asphalt that and add that connectivity, because there's been some concerns. What the school board indicated to us is how people get to school is changing. You know, when we were all young, we all with 2 feet and a heartbeat to school. Now mostly parents drop their children off. So we're really trying to protect children around the school. So we are advancing with those works this year or next year. Sorry.